What's good, YouTube fans? Trifecta with a brand new video. It's week 8 thoughts and predictions. We're gonna get right into this. The first game was Tampa versus Baltimore. Baltimore won 27-22. And one thing I will say about this game is I absolutely love Brady doing bad. There's nothing better than seeing him getting angry, mad at his teammates and stuff, throwing his helmet. It's absolutely fantastic. And the second thing on this game is that Lamar Jackson's gonna make the Ravens really mad that they didn't pay him in the offseason because he's gonna be asking for a boatload of money and he's gonna deserve it. But then again, the Ravens could also just franchise tag him 2 years in a row, and then he's going to be making about 50 or 60 million, which is still going to be a lot of money, but he's not going to be getting this huge deal that he wants, but we'll see. The next game is the Sunday morning game, the London game. It was the Jaguars versus the Broncos, and the Jaguars lost. I can't tell you anything about this game because it's on ESPN Plus, and they don't want to give me that shit for free. They're trying to make me pay for this shit. I'm not doing it. So guess what? I missed the game, and I couldn't watch it on TV when I have cable, so I don't know what to do. But the Broncos won. Russ doing high knees on the plane or something. I don't know. Shit's crazy. I don't know. We're going to go right into some games that I actually was able to see. Even though I watched the Eagles game at the 1 o'clock, I actually was able to see parts of these games where I know what happened. I know what was going on. So the first game is going to be the Dolphins versus Lions. The Dolphins beat the Lions. The Lions are a really bad team. I don't know why people think they're this great team with a lot of grit and fight. Like, they're bad. They're really bad, and people got to just realize that. They're an awful team. That's what it is. Dan Campbell's not a good coach either. I don't care what you say about you're a one-win team. You're not a good coach. It don't matter. I don't care what the players think of you, the fans do. No, they're bad. And for the Dolphins, I think they're back on track. I think they're going to be... They just had a few bad weeks because Tua wasn't there. Tua got hurt, and then Teddy Bridgewater got hurt. And so, like, it was a bad few weeks. Tua's back now. They're going to be back where they were from the beginning of the season. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be fine. The next game's the Bears-Cowboys. Fuck the Cowboys. They won again. They made the Bears look like a shit team, which they are. I don't know why people thought that the Bears were this great old team. I saw on ESPN, it seemed like all over the place, that the Bears get better every week. I don't know what they're watching. To me, they looked like a really bad team. Like, yeah, they show some signs of, like, they could be really good, but overall, they're not that good, and I don't know why people think they're that good. And the stupid-ass Cowboys fucking won. They put almost 50 on them. Like, I hate to see it. So with that, we're going to go to a way better NFC East team, the Eagles, my Eagles. Yeah, we clapped the Steelers. I mean, it wasn't even a game. They absolutely annihilated them. Hurts looked absolutely fantastic. I mean, he's playing out of his mind. He was throwing dots to A.J. Brown in the end zone. Even Pascal was getting touchdowns. Like, this team's look really good, and they even in the second half started getting some scores, finally looking good in the second half for the first time all year. And then them pulling their players with 9 minutes left in the game, that was a cocky move a little bit. I'm going to be honest. That was a little crazy because they were only up by I mean, they were up a good amount, but they weren't up by like a crazy amount. 9 minutes left in the game was kind of wild. And the Steelers look absolutely awful. I mean, their offense is really bad. I mean, they got a few drives that looked okay, but I think Matt Canada's a really bad offense coordinator. I think he is really bad. But that's all for that game. The next game is Atlanta versus Panthers, and man, was that a crazy-ass ending. So Atlanta was up by 6, and the Panthers threw a bomb downfield, got the touchdown, and DJ Moore takes his helmet off like an idiot and throws it on the ground and gets a penalty and makes the extra point so much longer. And the dude missed the extra point. It was absolutely insane. So they go to overtime. The Falcons throw a pick, and then the Panthers get down to field goal range and miss the field goal. So then in the end, Atlanta went down, got a field goal, and ended up winning the game. But because DJ Moore threw his helmet, that basically sold the game. If he didn't do that, they make the extra point and the game's over. So the next game is the Jets versus Patriots. I didn't really see much of this game. All I know is the Patriots were up 22-10. Jets got a touchdown and couldn't get the onside kick, and they ended up losing. Mac Jones started again. The Bailey Zappi thing, it's over, I guess. I mean, it looked like something maybe last Monday, but I think the Patriots, they're going to stick with Mac Jones. They were planning on that anyway, and he is better, I guess, and that's just what it is. The Jets swore this year was going to be their year to get that win against the Patriots, and they still could not get it done. So it's the same old Jets, even when they're playing better. Now, a team that's not playing better is Belichick's old offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, and the Raiders are awful. They dropped a goose egg against the Saints. The Saints have been playing awful almost the whole year. I mean, they had like a few good weeks, but I mean, they've been really bad and really beat up. Dropped a goose egg. I mean, Jesus Christ. Not good for the Eagles, though, because we do have the Saints' first-round pick, and I'm waiting to see if they can get Kamara or Hunt. That'll lead us into the last 1 o'clock game, which is the Vikings-Cardinals. The Vikings won 34-26. Leading the helm was Kirk 1 o'clock Cousins. Love that man. only in 1 o'clock games, of course. Once it hits 4 o'clock or night games, I am not a fan. But the Cardinals are at end season form by now already. I mean, they're just losing games, man. They're not good anymore. DeAndre Hopkins is still that guy, though. He's a dog. But the Cardinals as a whole, they struggle. Kingsbury, this is his last year. I can almost guarantee you that. But then again, they did just sign him to a contract, so maybe it's not, but I think it will be. But who knows? They might stick with him 1 more year and then next year fire him. I don't know. But what I do know is Kyler Murray probably hopped on Call of Duty after he got home into Arizona, man. So that's going to lead us into the 4 o'clock games. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Seahawks versus Giants game. Like I said, the Giants ain't winning more than 7 games. Until they win 8, I won't believe that they will win more than 7. But it was a close game throughout the whole time. I mean, these are the 2 games that had winning records on both sides. This was the only one. And, man, Geno Smith, man, he's that guy. And I don't know what the Seahawks are going to do with him next year, if they're going to try to draft a quarterback, if they're going to stick with him. At this point, I don't see why you don't just stick with him. And on the other side with Daniel Jones, I mean, the way he's playing, I also don't see why you don't just stick with him, especially you're not going to have really a high pick, because they're most likely going to make the playoffs, as much as I won't want to say it. Like, they probably will. I mean, losing that many games in a row, as much as I keep saying they're only going to win 7 games, like, that's harder than to just win a few. But Seattle ended up just taking over, and they won 27-13. It was pretty convincing. I mean, it was close for a little bit, and then the Giants kind of just were overmatched. The next game is probably one of the most boring games of the week. The Titans vs. Texans. Not really much going on there. The Titans won 17-10, and it was really not even a game. Texans got a garbage time touchdown to make it a little closer. Malik Willis did make his first start for the Titans. I don't think he really even did all that much. I mean, I don't think they were able to expand the playbook that much for him, because Tannehill's illness kind of happened. I feel like it was right before the game. It seemed like it happened on like the Thursday or Friday maybe before the game. So they didn't really have much time to give Willis the playbook, I don't think. But besides that, on the other side, the Texans, they're an awful team, and they're going to have another rough year just like last year. Moving on to the next game, not much better than the last one, was the Colts versus Washington. Somehow, at the end of the game, Washington ends up winning. Don't ask me how. It's absolutely insane. The Colts are terrible. Taylor Heineke, 2-0 as the Washington starter. Might as well keep him in. Wentz is awful too, so might as well keep him in. It was a terrible game. The Colts going with Ellinger for the rest of the year is not a good sign. They're going to be very bad, and Frank Reich's probably going to be fired after this year, and they're going to have a terrible year. And the final game for the 4 o'clocks was the Rams versus Niners. The Niners just have the Rams' number in the regular season. The Rams are like a totally different team from last year. They look absolutely awful. They can't play offense. Their defense looks worse. I mean, Christian McCaffrey was looking like a god on San Francisco. Threw for a touchdown, caught a touchdown, and then ran for a touchdown. I mean, this man just does it all, I guess. One thing San Francisco does know now, though, if Jimmy G goes down, they might as well just put McCaffrey in as quarterback. And honestly, he might be better because he threw for the farthest touchdown this year in the air for San Francisco. So that's, yeah, Christian McCaffrey, he's that guy. But the Rams offense, they look just terrible. Matt Stafford just doesn't seem to get it going, I guess. I don't know if it's still that injury from the elbow or if he's just starting to lose it. I don't know. But they look really bad, and they're going to have a rough season. I don't think they make the playoffs. And then for the final game of the Sunday, the Bills versus Packers. The Bills pretty much destroyed the Packers. It wasn't really a game. Josh Allen's just that guy, and Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are struggling a lot, and I don't think they can make the playoffs either. The Packers ran for over 200 yards, and if you told me the team ran for 200 yards rushing, I would say, oh yeah, they definitely won the game. But nope, not the Packers. I don't know how you run for 200 yards and still lose. It blows my mind. But I guess against the Bills, I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. They're just that good of a team, and they'll find a way to win. And that takes us to the final game of the week, the Bengals at Cleveland. Cleveland ended up absolutely dominating that whole game. It seems like Joe Burrow can't seem to really get the offense running that well without Jamar Chase. I think they're going to be at a little tough spot. I think they're just hoping to go 2-2, stay even until Jamar comes back. And the Browns get their 3rd win of the season. I mean, they're still not a very good team, and I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to make them all that much better, because I think when he comes back, he's going to be very rusty. He hasn't played in 2 years, basically, and I think he's going to be really bad, and the team's going to be really bad still. So that'll do it for Week 8 thoughts and predictions. If you guys enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and come back next week for Week 9.